When parents find out their child has a learning disability, it can be overwhelming.
Suddenly they're in a world they know little about, trying to understand the diagnosis and what that means to their children.
The Smart Kids with Learning Disabilities was founded by a group of parents and experts wanting to network with others for support, inspiration, and information.
Jane Ross is the founder and executive director, and she joins us now. Welcome to Connecticut Style.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here.
So first off, let's just talk a little bit about the organization and how they help children with disabilities.
Right. Essentially, it's very difficult to understand that you have a bright child who is fully as intelligent as everyone else and who struggles in school in a way that becomes really devastating to the child. First of all, they can see that they're unable to do things that children around them are managing to do. And very often they're regarded as if it's their fault. These are invisible problems that tend to be blamed on the child. Maybe he's lazy, he's not working hard enough. If he would only work more, he would get it.
So your organization has come up with a way to help these parents really get the help that they need to inspire their children.
That's exactly right, because really parents are the critical piece of making sure that a child gets the help that's needed in order to succeed, and even more to have a parent believe in the child. You have to have confidence in your child, which is hard when you see him stumbling in school. You know, stumbling over words, having difficulty reading, maybe he can't spell, maybe he sort of runs into a wall when he gets to second or third grade arithmetic, as happened to my son. And it's really up to parents to figure out what's going on, what are the difficulties, what do you do about addressing them, and equally important to support your child's strengths and interests, because these kids do have terrific abilities and talents very often.
They just learn a little bit differently than everyone else.
They learn differently. Their brains are wired a little differently.
And how many children does this affect?
It affects, the estimates are generally 1 in 7 children, which is just a huge number. And in fact, some people say that as many as 1 in 5 may struggle significantly with reading. And this is the word of Dr. Sally Shaywitz, who did extensive research in this area and is at Yale.
I know Dr. Shaywitz.
You do.
I think we're looking at some pictures right now.
She's done great work in this specific topic.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about your own experience. You're a parent who also has a son, I believe?
That's right. My son was very dyslexic. I had no idea why he began to kind of withdraw from being a sunny, outgoing child and began to stumble. As I say, he couldn't subtract one 2-digit number from another. And when I went to his teacher and said, I don't know what's happening, that he's not seeming to learn well, and she looked at me and said, you expect great things of your child, as if anybody can see he's stupid. And that's so often what happens. So it took me a year to have him tested in school. He was sent to the resource room a couple of times a week. He became defiant. I realized that there was more to it that we hadn't found out. And that's when I started a further journey to get a better, more specific diagnosis that made sense to me.
Well, how can people get a hold of you or learn more information about it if their children are dealing with a similar issue?
We invite everyone to go on our website, which is at smartkidswithld.org. There's a great deal of information there that's written in terms that it's easy for parents to understand. This is not for experts, this is for parents. A lot of it is written by experts, but it also includes the personal stories of other parents and of kids.
Now, Jane, isn't the key here is that the parent gets help for their child as soon as possible? As soon as they see the signs. And so what are some of the signs?
The signs, in addition to the kind of struggles in school, difficulties with reading, writing, arithmetic, for very young children, they may have difficulty with rhymes, understanding rhyming words. They may have trouble reciting the days of the week in order, with what we call word retrieval, remembering a word, remembering somebody's name. Sometimes they can't remember the teacher's name. Certain of them have motor issues and visual spatial difficulties, sort of orienting themselves in a room or navigating, making transitions from one activity or class to another.
And how do you provide support? Once parents go online and they find your organization, how do you help?
We offer a free e-newsletter which you can sign up for, which comes about once every 3.5 weeks. The newsletter goes to parents around the country and actually around the world. And we also present about 10 or 12 educational programs each year.
Great.
So you go to the website and give us your name and information. We will be happy to keep you informed.
And real quickly, though, you do have a lot of success stories out there, don't you?
We have many success stories. My son, who struggled so much, is now a graduate student at...
And we have a picture of somebody who was just honored recently.
That is right. That is Ryan Haggerty, who comes from Stamford, Connecticut. He is our 2011 Youth Achievement Award winner. He's pictured with our committee co-chairs. And in addition to overcoming a severe language and reading disability through very hard work, Ryan was a member of the team that just won the developmental U.S. hockey gold medal.
Well, great. Jane, we're all out of time, but thank you so much for sharing your story. We'll have more info on WTNH.com. Don't go away, there's more Connecticut Style coming up after the break.